Hello, I'm Reagan Ramm with OrpheusAudioAcademy.com, helping you make better music and grow your fan base. So today we're going to cover how to create a synthwave bass, and this is actually very simple. And what am I talking about? The synthwave bass, you probably heard that in just about every synthwave song. It's a bass sound that closely resembles the Korg Poly 6 bass sound from the classic analog synth. And it's that nice, deep, plucky bass sound that sounds something like this. All right, so how do you make this sound? Well, you might not actually have to make it because it's a very simple sound, and probably your DAW already has a synth that has this kind of sound in it already. But if not, then just download this free OBXD plugin, and I have a link to this in the description below. And then load up the Round Bass 1 preset. And you can find that here under Factory Presets and go down to preset 85 Round Bass 1. If I do that, if we just go to Factory Presets, Round Bass 1, here's what the default preset sounds like. And then you just kind of dial it in to taste and what fits with your song by really just modulating the cutoff, the resonance, filter amount, and decay are really going to be your friends here. So I'll just kind of tweak these as it plays so you can kind of see what each one does. And that's pretty much it. But like I said, if you don't want to go ahead and download this, your DAW might already have one. For example, in Logic, the classic analog bass sound inside the retro synth is already a pretty close emulation of this. Here's what it sounds like. And like I said, you can find this in presets, go to synth bass, and then classic analog right there. So you already have that in Logic. But if you're, now a third option, of course, is to actually create this sound yourself using a wavetable synth of some kind. And here I have Massive. So to get this sound, you really just need two oscillators, both using sawtooth waveforms, and have your second oscillator an octave lower and slightly detuned. And it sounds like this. And then you want to throw a filter on, a low pass filter, and that will sound like this. And then you want to modulate that filter too to add more of that drifting analog kind of sound to it. So we'll add a envelope to the cutoff, and then we'll actually modulate that forward here. So what's going to happen is, so the cutoff is cutting off the high frequencies of this sound. And then this filter that we added to it, it's actually going to turn this knob up at the same rate that we see here in this filter. So it's going to like quickly be pulling it up, and then it's going to go back down. So it's going to add a little bit of a clicky kind of modulation effect, and it sounds like this now. You can hear that more clicky sound because it's getting pulled up into the higher frequencies. So unmute. And if that's too clicky for you, you can just change the envelope here if you want. Specifically the decay. So that's pretty much it. So you can see you do hear that it's a little bit thinner than the OBXD and what the classic analog bass is, because this is a very, very basic rendition of the synthwave bass. You'd probably want to add some EQ, you want to add some saturation, some other things to kind of beef it up, but this is it in a nutshell. Now, one final thing you might want to do to get that classic 80s synthwave sound is add some chorus effect to your bass. So here's what it sounds like without this chorus effect, and then I'll show you what it sounds like on. So you can hear this is just adding a lot more space and width to the bass sound, and it really just gives it that more retro feel. And so you can use any chorus, but I really like this free Tal Chorus LX plugin. And you can, again, find a link to this in the description below. So this is a really great plugin that I use all the time on a lot of different sounds, but it sounds really great on bass. Otherwise, that is pretty much it. That's how you can create a synthwave bass sound for your next song. So if you found this video helpful and you'd like more tutorials like this, then just be sure to hit subscribe, and also be sure to check out my complete start to finish tutorial on how to create a synthwave song on this channel as well. With that, have a great day, and I'll see you in a future video.